All right, let's just get right into it. We really need to talk about your AI bill because odds are you're burning cash on a totally invisible fire. A simple mistake that could be costing you thousands of dollars, maybe even tens of thousands, every single month. Today, we're going to put that fire out for good. Look, let me put it this way. If you're just defaulting to the biggest, most powerful AI model for every little thing, you're literally driving a Ferrari just to go pick up a carton of milk. Sure, it feels amazing for about 5 seconds, but then you get the fuel bill and realize you could have just walked. And I'm not kidding about that bill. I saw a team recently get hit with an $8,000 invoice for 1 month. Their reason, and I'm quoting here, pure developer laziness. They just set one expensive model as the default and kind of forgot about it. This isn't some bug, you guys. It's a broken strategy. So let's dig into the real heart of this problem, right? This isn't some super rare, exotic issue that only happens to a few unlucky people. No. This is happening everywhere. It's what happens when we use the sledgehammer for every single nail without ever stopping to ask, wait, do I even need a hammer for this? Now, before you start having a full-blown panic attack thinking you need to tear down your entire application, just breathe. The problem isn't your code. You're not a bad developer. The problem is your architecture. And you know the best part about architecture? It can be fixed. And usually it can be fixed without changing a single line of your core logic. To fix it, though, we first have to find the leaks. See, most of your AI costs, they're not coming from the big, flashy things you're building. They're coming from these silent, invisible little processes just humming away in the background, absolutely murdering your budget one tiny API call at a time. Okay, so meet villain number one. I call it session bloat. So imagine you're chatting with an AI. With every single new message, the agent is secretly sending the entire conversation history back to the model. That first message costs you pennies, but by the 100th message, that could be costing you dollars. It just grows and grows exponentially, and you'd never even know it was happening. And then there's villain number two, heartbeat checks. These are just these tiny little pings your agent sends out to say, hey, yep, I'm still here, still running. It's the simplest status check imaginable. But if you're using GPT-4o for that, you are paying a world-class brain surgeon salary just to take someone's temperature. It's this tiny little tax dinging you every couple of seconds. And believe me, it adds up to an absolute fortune. And the list, you guys, it just goes on and on. You've got sub-agents that are supposed to be doing simple work, but oops, they inherit the expensive model from their parent. You're making the same API call over and over without caching it. You're using a genius-level AI just to, format some text. It's truly death by 1,000 paper cuts. Okay, enough doom and gloom. How do we fix this whole mess? Well, the answer is a total shift in how we think. We have to move from this brute force approach to one of surgical precision. We need to build what's called a smart router. This is the control panel you've been missing all along. And this slide right here, this is everything. On the left, you've got the lazy way, one pricey model for the whole shebang. That's our Ferrari. But on the right, that's the smart way, a whole team of specialized models, each one picked for a very specific job. This isn't about downgrading people. It's about getting strategic. It's about upgrading your entire game plan. Which brings us to the new golden rule. Seriously, burn this into your brain. Match the model's power to the task's complexity. That's it. That is the entire philosophy. You don't call in the Avengers when all you need is a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's really that simple. So, let's build this dream team, shall we? It's time to assemble your cost-cutting AI stack. Think of yourself as the general manager of a championship sports team. You wouldn't hire 12-star quarterbacks, right? Of course not. You need specialists for every single position. And here is your new starting lineup. For the heavy lifting, the really complex reasoning, you bring in your star player, Kimi K2.5. It performs at that elite frontier level, but get this, it's 8 times cheaper than a model like Opus. For those tiny heartbeat checks and simple tasks, Gemini Flash. The cost is so ridiculously low, it's basically a rounding error. And for all those background jobs, you run a local model on Ollama. The cost? A big, beautiful zero. So your new smart router, it's just asking 3 simple questions. Number 1, is this a really complex task? Boom, send it to Kimi. Number 2, is this just a simple little status check? Great, Gemini Flash gets the call. And number 3, is this a basic background job? Perfect, offload it to your local Ollama model for free. That's it, that's your entire decision tree. So, what actually happens when you stop taking the Ferrari everywhere and you start using your specialized team? What does the payoff look like in the real world? Well, get ready because this is the fun part. This is your bill today. One giant, ugly, terrifying bar for that one expensive model that's doing everything. It's bloated, it's wasteful, and it is absolutely sucking your budget dry. And this is your bill tomorrow. Just look at that difference. That original bar just gets crushed, shrunk by 90%, and it's replaced by these three small, efficient, beautiful little bars. Each one is a tool doing exactly what it was meant to do at the absolute lowest cost. This is what smart architecture looks like on an invoice. 90%. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is not a tiny optimization. That's a revolution for your bottom line. That's the difference between a project that dies because it's too expensive and one that actually scales into a real business. But here's the most amazing part. You are not sacrificing performance to get these savings. Not one bit. You are still getting that elite, top-tier AI power for the tasks that really matter. You just stop paying for it when you don't need it. It's all of the power with none of the financial pain. So really, it all comes down to one question. You now have the keys to a whole garage full of faster, smarter, more affordable tools. Are you finally ready to park the Ferrari?